Yo guys, what is going on? Blossom is back and welcome back to another episode of Child Drives. Good news! I have fully recovered because your boy did a 5-kilometer run today and everything was fine. I think the final time was 5 kilometers in about 19 minutes and 4 seconds, something like that. So, your boy is back. His lungs are fine. And anyway, it is time for a refresher on a video that I've done in the past, and that is actually reviewing and ranking every single manufacturer pack in my opinion. PL15 changed a lot of things. Not only did it add a lot of new cars to Porsche, to Audi, a little bit to Merc, but also because of old guard, a lot of legendaries, you know, that were bad in the past are now really good epics that you can unpack, etc, etc. So a lot of cars have shifted around, and maybe some of these packs are better now than they were before, or worse now than they were before. Now let's talk straight off the bat. Okay, we have Der Kaiser, Daily Driver, Frequent Provider, Pernicious Ulcer, and Hot Garbage. We're bringing back Hot Garbage after demand, and we're going to talk about the first beneficiary of PL15 and Old Guard and all those tiny little changes, and that is going to be Alfa Romeo. I'm going to put Alfa Romeo really high up in Daily Driver. It's a pretty damn good pack, not gonna lie. All right, how good? Let me show you. So when you get an Alfa Romeo pack, first of all, there are 4 Ultras to get now. You don't get the Tipo anymore, which was honestly a so-so kind of Ultra anyway. So now that's out of the picture, that makes it even better, right? Mitsu, not the best Ultra in the world, but it's pretty decent, and we cannot ever lie about the fact that the Auto Delta and the Alfetta are among the best in their niche. I mean, actually, they are the best in their niche. Rear-wheel drive Ultra off-roads, the Alfetta is the best one now because the Lancia 037 is gone to Epic. And of course, the Auto Delta, I mean, this car was fantastic before PL15. It's still fantastic now. The Auto Delta is amazing. You know, it's your front-wheel drive, you know, go-to dragster when it comes to clubs. Won me so much cash. Legendary, you only get one, and I feel like that's one of the main reasons why I'm not putting in Der Kaiser, because although this is a fantastic legendary 90 plus RQ, one of the best SUVs in the game, the only reason why I'm bringing it down is because the Alfa Romeo lacks that, you know, versatility, as in like they don't have a slick tire Alpha, they don't have like some high performance, you know, high handling performance tire kind of Alpha, none of that. You know, you just get the Stelvio Quadrifoglio. But as far as it goes, if I'm only gonna get one legendary, the Stelvio Quadrifoglio is like one of the most perfect ones to get. Epics are really strong as well. Every car here is really strong MRA aside from the Alpha 4C, but the 4C is very light, and the Alpha Giulia Quadrifoglio is fantastic. I mean, when you think about it, this is a Blossom choice, this is a Blossom choice, this is a Blossom choice. Not a lot of cars that you can get, but it is a very, very strong pack, and with a strong pack we also have a strong start. That being said though, it's not going to last very long because we move on to Hot Garbage with the Bentley pack. The Bentley pack is atrocious. I'm not even going to waste your time and my time talking about that. The brand sucks in the game. Alright, next up, BMW. Now, BMW is a pretty interesting one because it's a hit or miss kind of pack. There are some good cars, but there are also, you know, a lot, well, not even some, but a lot of atrocities, right? So we move into manufacture, and now let's look for BMW, right? So it's a hit or miss kind of pack. I would say that PL15 didn't really benefit it too much. PL15 actually brought down the value of one of the best cars you could have gotten from the pack, which was the BMW M3 CS, and that's mainly because the Alpha that we just talked about is now an epic instead of a legendary. It's a hit or miss, right? Like everything over here, like literally is just filler. Aside from the M3 CSL, everything here is a filler. Like, if you are not a BMW fan, if you're not a German collector, even if you were a German collector, I feel like a lot of these cars are just like, well, I wouldn't be excited in getting them at all. Like, these don't excite me, you know. A lot of these, well, to be fair, the M2 excites me, but that's because I have a soft spot for the BMW M2, but everything else is just like, waste of my time. I gotta say though, a lot of ultra rare epics, I mean I guess I'm not wrong, but a lot of ultra rare BMWs that went down from epic, they are pretty enticing now. Cars like the BMW M5 and the M3, all of those cars are, you know, pretty interesting. You know, BMW 1 Series M Coupe, it's pretty interesting, it's not bad, but like I said at the start, BMW is a hit or miss kind of pack in my opinion, so I'm gonna give it Frequent Provider. It's not good, it's not bad. All right, next up, Cadillac. Now, Cadillac Cadillac is an interesting one because Cadillac has the ATS-V, which is one of the best epics in the game in my opinion now. It's so versatile. It has the performance. It brings the stock performance of a low ground clearance car, but it's also medium, you know, and it's really, really good in that sense. Cadillac also boasts the Cadillac 16. The Cadillac 16 is a fantastic car. That being said, outside of those two cars, everything else Cadillac has to offer is either mediocre or bad. So because of that, I'm actually going to put it in pernicious ulcer. Honestly, if you want a Cadillac CTS, actually the CT6 is a very good one as well. So there are 3 decent cars. But if you are looking for a Cadillac CT6 and you want to open a pack where that car is available, instead of getting a Cadillac pack where outside of 3 cars, everything else is a pretty big disappointment, why don't you just go for a 2016 pack? If I remember correctly, I think the CT6 was 2016. If you're looking for a Cadillac 16, go open a standard tire carbon fiber one that comes out. It's going to be a lot more beneficial. Or an ATS-V. Actually, ATS-V, is that 2019? I'm not sure, but I'm sure that you can find yourself a niche where the ATS-V would be available in, and then you can go open that pack over the Cadillac pack instead. 2016. Oh, there you go. Alright, so this is the 2016 one. So this will boast the 2016 pack. I'm pretty sure that the CT6 was 2016. I guess it was in 2017. But if you can get yourself a 2017 pack, that's a pretty good one too. And of course, the Cadillac 16 is fantastic. But everything else over here is just like, it's just meh. Like there are 2 new, you know, ultra rares that went down from Epic, which are slightly enticing, I would say, but for the most part, very meh pack in my opinion. And that's saying something from an American collector. Alright, so let's go back to our tier list, and we have the Aston Martin pack. Now, the Aston Martin pack is a interesting one because Aston Martin has a lot of really, really enticing epics. A lot of epics went down from legendary, and they're really good now. A lot of decent MRA cars with low 0 to 60s, high handling, high top speeds, very, very strong in that regard. Legendaries wouldn't be the strongest thing in the world. DBS Superleggera got a minor nerf, right? Not a lot of legendaries that you can get from the Aston Martin pack anymore. I think about 3 now or something like that. It's the DBS Superleggera, the DBS Superleggera Volante, right? And I'm gonna put it in frequent provider. The main thing about Aston Martin is this: the ultra rares suck. One of the best Aston Martin ultra rares was the DB3S, and it's gone down to super rare because of the handling cut. So I would say that Aston Martin is decent because it has a lot of strong cars, but once again, a lot of cars that a lot of people probably wouldn't care about either. They are all beautiful though. Yeah, literally only 2 legendaries now, right? Both the Superleggeras. But like I said, you have all of these enticing epics, right? The Vantage, the new Vantage, the old Vantage, the Vanquish, like all of these legendaries that went down, they're all really, really strong. Like they're all really good. But the main thing about Aston Martin is that most of the ultra rares, like literally 90% of these ultra rares, are actually useless. Like these are cars that you're not going to be using very often. The repeat is an exception because it's a saloon. It has a little bit of niche over there, but a lot of these Aston Martin ultra rares, honestly, disappointment, not even joking. The epics are decent though. A lot of the epics are decent, to be fair. Like outside of like maybe the DBS V12 and the V12 Vanquish and the DBS, like outside of these 3 epics, everything else brings some sort of value to the table. The Vanquish Volante a little bit weak, to be fair, but everything else is actually really, really strong. Legendaries, once again, leaves little to be desired. I am a huge fan of the Superleggera, one of my favorite cars of all time, but obviously I'm not going to put my bias into this. So overall, it's a decent pack. It's not amazing. It's not bad. If you love Aston Martin, then you can be like me and open almost every single one. TVR is next. TVR, man. TVR has some really big hits. It's very similar to the Alpha pack as well. I'm not going to put it with the Alpha though, because the legendary that you can get from the TVR pack, although decent, is nowhere as near the levels of the Stelvio Quadrifoglio. What you really want from the TVR pack is that Tuscan race car, but you also need to know that the Typhoon is a pretty decent legendary at the same time. Ultra rares are pretty useless, not as good as what Alpha has to offer. I would give it a low frequent provider, and it's not the same level as Alpha. All right, Audi got a massive revamp in World Expo, which would make you think that it's good, but no, most of the Audis that were introduced into the update were hot garbage. In my opinion, I think Audi is a hot garbage of a pack. It's so freaking okay. You know what? A bit harsh, right? A bit harsh. Pernicious, also fine. The only thing weighing this up is the all-surface tire cars. If there's ever, and the thing is, Hutch hates off-road finals. We never get off-road finals, or we never get all-surface or SUV finals. The last SUV final I could literally think of was the Pagani Zonda Revolution, that was like December 2020 or something like that. It was a very, very long time ago, almost like 2 years ago now. So yeah, we never get SUV events, and honestly, the only shining light that Audi brings to the table are the SUVs, are the all-surface tire cars like the SQ5s and all the other e-tron, whatever crap it is. Outside of that, every performance tire four-wheel drive Audi is a piece of shit. The only good epic Audi is a price car, for crying out loud. So honestly, like, it's pernicious ulcer, but it's only there because of the all-surface tire cars. If it wasn't for those cars, I would definitely put in hot garbage. Chrysler is hot garbage. All right, now we move on to Ford. Ford is a really good pack. I'm definitely gonna put it into Kaiser. If you don't believe me, I will show you right now. Ford is very, very strong, always has been, and I'm pretty sure that not GE, but World Expo, WE, actually brought up the damn value of Ford. So once again, I accidentally deleted non-price, so I'm gonna go look for that again. Non-price and okay, yeah, really, really strong. One of the weakest things that the Ford Focus RS fills is British medium ground clearance. If you look at British medium ground clearance epics, none of them handle because they're all Bentleys and they're all Jaguars. This is like the British medium ground clearance car, and it's not even rear-wheel drive, it's four-wheel drive, so it has a slightly inflated RQ, but that handling is better than anything else on the market in the competition. I think the next car is AT handling, I think, with the Jaguar 575, which is a medium ground clearance British car as well. So the Ford Focus RS, you know, like, what I'm trying to say is that World Expo only boosted the value of this pack. Outside of that, American Frontier really made this pack amazing with the slick tire Fords. The Ford F-150 Raptor is like even stronger now in PL15 than it was in PL14 because now it's stronger than the Ram Rebel TRX, for crying out loud. The Ford Escort's a pretty decent car as well. And honestly, the the Ford GT70 is actually pretty decent as well. Ford's a really, really strong pack, one of the best in the game. I think the only dud truly is the 05 Ford GT, which is still a really cool car in the real world. Just in top drives, it's kind of useless, but outside of that, very, very strong pack. Land Rover, I would say pernicious ulcer. Only reason why it isn't hot garbage is because there's one freaking amazing RQ64 Range Rover Ultra that you can get from that. Oh god, I think that's saying too much. The difference of hot garbage and pernicious ulcer, I'm going to put it down to one Blossom Choice Ultra Air. No, I can't do that. It's hot garbage. Alright, Mercedes-Benz is next, and I have to say, the inclusion of PL15 has actually boosted the appeal for Mercedes-Benz, which is really, really nice because Mercedes has been a pretty boring brand in top drives. It's not been revamped since the start until now. The cars going down, like the AMG GTS going down, the SLS is going down. Those are huge because these are really enticing epics, cars that I really, really want. AMG GLS 63 looks pretty decent. The A45 is still kind of trash, so not a fan of that at all. And of course, the inclusion of the AMG GTR of 105 MRA is really, really cool, and also an inclusion of a new saloon in the AMG GT 4-door coupe. So I would say that the Mercedes-Benz pack is actually pretty damn good. You're getting a lot of cars with really good MRA, or you're getting one of the best epic dragsters for the all-surface category. Mercedes-Benz is really strong, I would say that. But I would not put it into Kaiser, I'll put it in Daily Driver. Next up is Chevrolet. Now, Chevrolet isn't moving anywhere. I'm going to put it in Daily Driver. I did not put it into Kaiser the last time. I think I put it in Daily Driver the first time I did this video. And it's staying there. It didn't get any new cars, new packs. The only changes I would say would be the Lingenfelter is a lot more strong now than it used to be, which boosts the pack a little bit. You still cannot get a legendary from the Chevy Carbon, but it is a pretty good pack. Like, there are good cars that you can get from it. They're good ultra rares that Chevrolet provides. Corvettes are really strong. Daily driver. All right, Citroen. I think Citroen and DS can kind of combine now, right? If I remember myself correctly. So let's go check it out back in the game. So if I go into filter and I go into manufacturer and I look for Citroen, I'm pretty sure that those cars are exactly the same now. You can get DS. Yeah, you can get the DS numero 9 from this now, which is nice. But outside the DS numero 9, these other 3 cars are completely useless. So it's a good epic, and you can't get any legendaries. It's a good epic, one of the best. But once again, it's all garbage. All right, Dodge is next, and I'm definitely putting in Der Kaiser. Listen, man, no bias. Dodge is an absolutely fantastic pack, okay? So let's go straight back into it. Filter, I'm gonna make my case here, okay? So you lawyers, well, you are all about to get lawyered, okay? Dodge is amazing, okay? Because first of all, you have yourself the Charger, which is like this staple car that I talked about recently. It's a saloon. Every player has to own this. It has a ridiculously high top speed, great MRA, low 0 to 60s, a saloon as well. I mean, most amazing dragster epics are all coupes or 2 doors, but this car is a saloon. It is an it's blossoming. It really is. It's in a niche of its own. You have cars like the Durango, which is still a really high handling all surface tire car. The SRT10 used to be one of the best epics. You got some amazing mid-range dragsters. Crazy to say that these cars are mid-range dragsters now, not high range anymore as they used to be. The Charger Juice as well, a mid-range dragster. Ultra rares look pretty good. Some pretty versatile cars. The Challengers handle pretty well. They have low 0 to 60s. The Scat Pack moving down, or both Scat Packs moving down, make the Ultra rares even more enticing. You got a low range dragster of like 98 MRA on the SRT10 concept, and don't even get me started with the legendaries. They're all freaking amazing. The lowest handling legendary here is 100, and that is saying a lot, to be fair, because there are a lot of legendaries that can't even hit 100 damn handling. I'm looking at you, Lamborghini. But anyway, yeah, maybe you can say I'm biased, but I don't care, man. Dodge is my favorite pack, and I'm definitely gonna give it to Kaiser. You can get a lot of value from this, especially if you're looking for any American niches. You need to have a drag section in your American collection, and Dodge is like the best pack to open. Anyway, next up, Fiat Carbon Fiber. Literally like no legendaries you can get from that, like 2 epics, Delara and the 124 or whatever it is. None special, is hot garbage. Infinity, I really want to say that Infinity is also like hand on heart like hot garbage, but I'm gonna give it a nice little check just to make sure that I forgot anything, because Infinity to me is a little bit of a, you know, irrelevant brand that I don't care about at all. I don't even know where it is. Here it is, Infinity. Yeah, okay, yeah, totally forgot about the Emerge, not gonna lie. Yeah, the Emerge and the Black S, like those 2 cars are really, really strong. Everything else though is kind of useless. When it comes to ultra rares, I would say that the most value that you can get is from the QX50 as well as the Q50S. Everything else is a bit of a throwaway. There is that one epic, yeah, the QX70 is also really strong, to be fair, but the Emerge E is really damn strong, and the Black S is a good car. No legendaries that you can get, but there's enough there for me to say that is a pernicious ultra and not hot garbage. Next one is Jaguar. Now Jaguar is an interesting one because I do not like the Jaguar pack, but I was sharing this list around my Patreon Discord, and a lot of people were ranking Jaguar really high, and so I was like, wait, I'm so surprised. Why is Jaguar being ranked so high? What makes Jaguar so good? And honestly, you know, shout out to the bright minds of our Discord server, because they actually made a case for Jaguar that I did not see. When it comes to the UK and when it comes to rain, Jaguar is the brand to go for. Aston Martin brings nothing to the table. They're all rear-wheel drive. TVR brings nothing to the table when it comes to rain. Ariel absolutely brings nothing to the table. The only 4-wheel drive cars when it comes to British cars are either Jaguar or Bentley, and we all know what Bentley is: hot garbage. So Jaguar really is your pioneers for that British wet area, because you have cars like the I-Pace for the epics, and when it comes to the ultra rares, you have the X-Type as well. Another argument that people were saying that the Jaguar pack was really good was because a lot of the epics that went down are actually really good ultra rares now, and I cannot disagree with that. The XKR 75 is fantastic. You know, a lot of these Jags have like really good MRA. The XKR 125 from 2010 is also an amazing car, and also like you have staples from the past past that were always ultra rare, like the XFRS Sport Brake, which is a very strong car. You have some strong epics in here as well, like the Project 7 with amazing MRA. 575 is a strong car that I will never max out. The XJS TWR, and of course you have some low-end legendaries that are really strong as well. I guess the main thing is, like, you know, I always thought that the CX75s were overrated, and I still think that they are. RQ98 for this, I don't think is definitely worth it at all. If this was a 96 and this one was like a 95 or 94, that would make so much more sense to me. That being said though, I did not like the Jaguar pack that much, but my Discord really did, you know, swayed me the other direction. I'll give it Daily Driver. There is value from the Jaguar pack. I'm just not a personal fan of Jaguar. All right, Lamborghini. No, we don't need to talk about that. All right. Lancia is their Kaiser. Lancia is just like a guaranteed happiness. When it comes to Epic, now it used to be 100% disappointment when it came to Lancia Epics because the Strata sucks. But the Lancia 037 now as an Epic is really freaking good. And yeah, I would give Lancia their Kaiser for sure. Lancia doesn't have a single miss with the decent amount of legendaries that it brings to the table. Like the difference is this, right? Mazda, Alfa Romeo, yeah, they have a 100% record of amazing legendaries, but they only have one legend, you know what I mean? Like Alpha only has the Stelvio now, Mazda only has the Furai. But for Lancia, they have a decent amount of legendaries, but every single one of them is a banger. And you know, the ultra rares, you cannot go wrong with medium ground clearance cars with four-wheel drive that handle. That's the difference of Lancia and Audi. Audi, they have four-wheel drive, they have medium ground clearance, but those shit cars, shit boxes, they don't handle. Lancias at least do. You can at least get 90 plus handling or 90 handling from these cars. So yeah, I would give it their Kaiser. Lotus is next, and I'm still giving Lotus their Kaiser. I honestly think that the fact that a lot of legendary Lotuses went down from legendary to epic has actually made the pack even more enticing. Lotus is one of those interesting brands where, like, literally, like, it feels like 80% of the cars, 80% of the epics are actually really cool and really good. So let's look for a Lotus real quick. So 60 cars over here, and yeah, I mean, this is amazing. I'm just realizing now you can only get one legendary now, and the Lotus 311 is a fantastic legend. It's an X-Blossom choice. It's so good. It handles really well. It still has decent MRA, low 0 to 60, and it's a very lightweight car. That's the only one that you can get now, and that makes it even better. They're honestly speaking, Lotus is a fantastic pack, and PL15 made it even better. Look at the numbers of the handling from these cars. These are epics that we're talking about: 91, 90, 90, 90, 90, 89, 88, 89, 88, 89, 87, 88, 88, 88, 89, and this is amazing. Like, literally, like, the only miss for a Lotus epic is the Esprit, and honestly, like, it's just a great pack. Like the Lotus Evora 280 and the V8, they used to be epics, they've gone down even better. The Lotus pack is amazing. Honestly, I think it's just hitting me now how amazing the Lotus pack actually is. Like, it was really strong before, it's even stronger now. Seriously, this pack is chef's kiss, dude. Like, it is beautiful. This is a wet dream for track specialists, if that is a thing in top drives. Like, that's just an amazing pack. Maserati is hot garbage. Italian saloons, that's it. All right, and they're not even good. All right, Mazda. Now this is a pack that we're never going to see again. Probably never. I'll give it like frequent provider, I guess. Like, there isn't much to say about it. We're not gonna see it ever again. But it's a 100% chance of getting a Furai. I don't think you can even get an epic anymore, but the ultras are pretty decent. Mitsubishi is another one that we're not gonna see again. I don't think there are any ultra rares that you can get from the Mitsubishi pack anymore. All the ultra rare Mitsubishis that were before PL15 have either gone up to epic or gone down to super rare. That being said, I mean, it still can be judged. It still can be judged. I do want to see what this theoretical Mitsubishi pack would look like, a Mitsubishi Carbon pack, if it ever came to light, but that's not gonna happen anymore. Yeah, it just goes from super rare, no ultra rares. Epics, let's talk about the epics. Are any of them decent? Yeah, the Evo 8 is pretty decent. and the Evo 10 is amazing. It's still one of the best cars ever, but it's impossible to upgrade now. None of the Evo 4 used to be a fantastic car, but it definitely isn't worth upgrading for a 76. It's just so weak as a 76. I think it went up way too high. Honestly, I'll bring it down to pernicious ulcer. It's just like the selection of cars, even if you were gonna guarantee yourself an epic from the, no, that's not gonna happen, okay? But let's say that there were ultras that you can get theoretically, and you get yourself an epic. The epic selection wouldn't be very good. The legendary selection wouldn't be very good either. Like, you're getting a low RQ legend. It's not really easy to max out an Evo 10 anymore, even though it's a great car. Pernicious ulcer. All right, Nissan is next. JPT changed Nissan because I don't think I did this review when JPT was out either. Nissan has some pretty decent cars, very vast collection. I'll give it daily driver. It has some really strong cars like the Bluebird, for example. Some GTRs are pretty okay, and you have the slick tires and Navi Nissans as well, which are really good. It's a pretty good car, a pretty good pack. I would say kind of like, think about BMW again. BMW was a hit or miss, right? It's like a 50-50. Nissan, you can say, is more of like a 65-35, you know, more good than bad. All right, Peugeot is next. Peugeot still remains in Der Kaiser as one of the best. I would say that if I had to do Der Kaiser in order, Peugeot would probably be number 1, Lotus number 2, maybe Ford and Dodge and Lancia, maybe something like that. Peugeot is just like, it's just a really good pack. It's like, if you, I do not like the brand, but there is no denying that the Peugeot pack is actually goated. It's ridiculously strong. Like, there was a time where like Peugeot's best cars before European Revolution, right, was just like the 205 of French Renaissance, because French Renaissance brought nothing else. Everything that you see, like, it's just so strong. And there's everything to it. There's off-road tires. You have 90s. You have 80s. Well, you don't have 90s. Sorry. You have 80s. Both of these are 80s. You have off-road tires. You have four-wheel drive. You have rear-wheel drive. You have medium ground clearance. You have another medium ground clearance, but this was also a dragster. You have slick tire twisty beasts as well. Like, it's crazy. This is Pack's actually crazy, and it's honestly, it's even better that this thing is an ultra now, for crying out loud. One of the best. Oh my god, it's just Peugeot, man. It's killing me because I hate the brand, but the pack is so good. Porsche is next, and I'm also going to move it up to Der Kaiser. I would say that PL15 really brought up the value of Porsche, obviously with, you know, Müller, and of course the 935, all the new legendaries they brought to the table. I'm going to say that it's actually the best pack. You have Porsche, then you have Peugeot, then you have Lotus, Ford, Dodge, and Lancia. Amazing pack, Porsche. Porsche has everything. Porsche is the most complete pack, in my opinion. I think that the Porsche is the best brand pack in the game. It has literally everything. I'll talk about Porsche again later. Let me just wrap it up with these 3 brands over here. Renault, no, well, I think it's just the banana. I think for the legendary, ultra rares are okay. It's a decent amount. I'm gonna give it freaking provider. I'm not gonna spend too much time on that. Roof is pernicious ulcer, I would say. Maybe hot garbage. Ultra rares kind of suck. RGT went down from an epic, but it's still a pretty crappy ultra rare, all things considered. Yeah, not very good. None of the epics of MRA anymore. Legendaries, they're all just worse Porsches, really. Yeah, I'm gonna give it pernicious ulcer, a low one at that. Volkswagen as well, I'm gonna give it pernicious ulcer. Definitely isn't hot garbage. Like, I hate the brand, but like, there are some decent Volkswagens. Like, the W12 is alright, the Synchro is alright. There is the standard tire Volkswagen CC, which is an amazing car. Honestly speaking, I'm actually going to move it up to frequent provider. Volkswagen isn't actually that bad, because if I move into collections, and it feels weird to say that, like, to put Volkswagen and not bad in the same sentence, but I really have to show it to you to tell you what I mean. Like, the CC is a fantastic epic, handles incredibly well, medium ground clearance and 4-wheel drive. The Volkswagen Golf GTI, now that it isn't a legendary anymore, is one of the best German dragsters in the game. With that 0 to 60, that top speed, and the MRI that it brings to the table, this car is actually one of the best epics in the game now. And then you have the W12 Roadster, which is a very strong car. You have the W12 Synchro, which is, you know, decent. It's okay. So, you know, it isn't. And then you have the TCR, which got a massive buff. The Phaeton 4-wheel drive center tires. You have the Arteon as well, which is 4-wheel drive center tires, and it handles pretty well. Like, it's not bad. The Ultras suck though. It's literally just 2 cars now, and they all suck, but they do bring some decent epics to the table, and honestly, some more than decent, some a lot more than decent. The GTI W12 and the Volkswagen CC are very strong epics, and the legendaries, the W12 isn't too bad, but the Golf R400 is still garbage. It is medium ground clearance and 4-wheel drive though, and it is better than than the Porsche 959 anyway. But I want to end off with Porsche because I think that Porsche is the best brand that you can open, and the Porsche packs in the store right now. So if you want to go open those, go ahead, buddy. I mean, I need to go save up for Black Friday though. But I feel like Porsche is the most complete brand, and it's just like there's so many bangers in this pack. It's actually insane. These are non-prize cars, and you see so many motorsport options. You see all these slick tire beasts. It's kind of like what McLaren can bring to the table, but McLaren can never make a carbon fiber because they don't bring any ultra airs or anything like that, right? So you have performance tires, you have slick tires, you have rear wheel drive, you have four wheel drive, you have all surface tires, you have, you know, rear wheel drive, as I said earlier. It's just like, it's so complete. The only thing that's really missing over here is like maybe standard tires. That's the only thing Porsche really lacks in, standard tires. They don't have a lot of standard tire cars, but they have like all these like Cayennes and Macans that are all surface. The Epics are ridiculously strong. You have 100 plus handling cars, you have four wheel drives, you have estates, you have some medium ground clearance, you have some low ground clearance, you have some slick tires as well when it comes to Epics, some track beasts, some off-road tires, you know, some all surface tires. Porsche is so complete as a pack, is insane. And on top of that, you have, you know, Epics that went down to ultra rares, which are pretty enticing, like the Carrera S, the GT3, the 911 Turbo, all of these cars moving down the ranks, and they all look pretty good as well. It's a great pack. Porsche, I would say, is the best manufacturer pack in the game. So in my opinion, guys, that is going to be my assessment, and I gotta say how equal that is. Literally missing one pack and it would have just been, you know, the same. It would have been 6 packs per rank, which is actually pretty nice. But anyway, guys, that's gonna be my assessment. Let me know down in the comments below if you agree or disagree. But anyway, I hope you guys have a great day. Remember, stay safe, wash your hands, and blossom out. Peace.
I bring the toast in the back and we going berserk with the guns on the rack, and we taking account to the sound of the crack. Running from us with the pop and the, cause we making the moves and the sounds of P. Calling the shots of bitch looking at me, and we taking account to the flow in the back with the drop in the cash. You know this ain't a prank. Moving like water, talking with fire. Bounce back on the cover to mama's inside. Keep riding the flames like a man on a mission. Rejected again, but you better go listen. Pop up at Billy, run up the Billy. My face on the boards and you all gonna see me. I whip my wrist to look dicey as Yachty. Flexing the club, something sincerely Louis. Hey. Yeah, hey, yeah. What you gonna think of me? I hit it from the back. My people play the kill mode, standing on attack. Cause I'm part of double sixes, all the ladies wanna do me. Haters say they wanna do me, bitch, I'm chillin' in cause you know we always get it done right. My vision's always on sight. Question me again, I'ma hit you with a Glock. Motherfuckers know to never get me tight, yeah.